Breaking news in the Bronx. This is Bronx Fan Central.
You spent the entire summer believing Spencer Jones was untouchable, and now the Bronx may be getting ready to put him on the market. Wake up, Bronx Nation. The crack of the bat echoing deep into Yankee Stadium and the silence in the dugout when the catcher fails again. That's the reality of 2026. The New York Yankees are standing at the kind of crossroads every contender fears. The roster has talent in the outfield, it has power, it has speed. But behind home plate, there's a massive hole. The Yankees' catching department is currently one of the biggest weaknesses on a team that expects to compete for a World Series championship. And the name emerging as a possible trade chip is Spencer Jones, the 6'7" giant from the farm system whom the Bronx refused to discuss in trade talks last summer. According to Brian Hoke of MLB.com, Jones is shaping up as a logical trade candidate before the deadline. A crowded outfield and an urgent need behind the plate are changing the front office's calculations. Did you know that last summer the Yankees practically slammed their fist on the table and said, "Jones isn't going anywhere"? Well, 1 year later, the conversation has changed. What really changed? Jones' value or the organization's confidence in him? Think about that before answering in the comments, Bronx Nation. I'll be honest with you, I think the time has come. And it hurts to say that because I've spent the last 2 years defending Jones as the future of the Bronx. But here's what I've learned from suffering through this franchise since the days when Brian Cashman made decisions that looked brilliant on paper and turned into nightmares on the field. A prospect who never turns potential into consistent contact doesn't become a star. He becomes a what-if story. Jones has incredible raw power. The speed is impressive. But the swing and miss problem hasn't disappeared. And it hasn't disappeared for a long time. If I keep waiting for him to figure it out while my team keeps losing ground because of problems behind the plate, I'll be sitting here in October heartbroken once again. And I've had enough heartbreak, Bronx Nation. I've had enough. Bronx Nation, hit that like button to support the channel and tell me this. Would you trade Jones now? Or would you hold on to him for another year? Spencer Jones was selected by the Yankees in the first round of the 2022 MLB draft with the 25th overall pick. Since then, the prospect has built his reputation on two pillars: explosive power and above-average athleticism for someone with that kind of frame. The problem is that the swing and miss issues have never been convincingly addressed throughout the minor leagues. Prospects with this profile, high strikeout rates, huge power, and solid speed, are everywhere in baseball. Very few become superstars. Many end up as platoon players or get stuck in AAA. On the other side of the equation is the hole at catcher. The position is widely considered one of the shallowest talent pools in the league in 2026. There is no surplus of elite catchers available on the market. Brian Hoke of MLB.com mentions Ryan Jeffers of the Minnesota Twins as a possible option, but Jeffers would first need to recover from injury, return to form, and then actually be placed on the trade block by the Twins. In other words, that's a long chain of ifs. Meanwhile, the Yankees' outfield is crowded, with Aaron Judge, when healthy, along with several other players competing for playing time. Stockpiling outfield prospects while the catching position struggles is a luxury a team chasing its 28th championship cannot afford. This is where I lose sleep, Bronx Nation, because there are two possible outcomes, and both of them scare me. Scenario 1. The Yankees trade Jones now, acquire a respectable catcher, win the World Series in 2026, and 3 years later Jones is hitting 30 home runs a season for a division rival. That's the scenario that would make me open a bottle of wine and cry at the same time. Scenario 2. The Yankees keep Jones, fail to fix the hole at catcher, collapse in the playoffs once again, and by 2028 Jones is still in AAA dealing with the same contact issues. That's the scenario that would make me quit baseball. Not really. I'll never quit. But I'd seriously think about it. What I do know is this: Jones's value right now, with the aura of an untouchable prospect still attached to his name, may never be higher. The opportunity to sell high is open, and I don't trust this front office to push the button at exactly the right moment.
So I'll ask you, Bronx Nation, or are you betting on this team's present?
Championship number 28 won't wait, and neither will the trade deadline.